This is Taking Aim with
Schoenman
and Mya Shone, here with an update about Lynne Stewart. Lynne is now at the Federal Medical Center in Carswell, Texas, an hour's drive from Fort Worth. We're here with Ralph Poynter to tell us more about the situation and the status of Lynne Stewart. Ralph.
Well, remember last week we had heard that there was a designation, and we were writing letters and begging, pleading, and those who believed in prayer, praying that it would be Danbury, Connecticut, about an hour and a half on the train, north of New York, close to her attorneys, close to her friends and family. She was led to believe that she was going to be there through the holidays, and we were building some of the younger grandchildren up to visit her in New York. My daughter has booked a flight up from Florida to be with her over the Christmas holidays, and the kids were ready to visit. And Tuesday, we had reason to believe that Lynne was gone, and after we had spoken to you, and Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock, I got a phone call, and it was from Lynne, and she was in Carswell. She thought she was going to the hospital, downtown Beekman, which is right around the corner from the prison. She left in her, prison jumpsuit, and the hospital is a few blocks away, and then she realized when they went right by the hospital that she was on her way someplace. She ended up in Newburgh, New York. And last Tuesday was the coldest night of the year. No jacket, nothing. She ended up in Newburgh, New York for 2 hours, but she says she has been upgraded from political prisoner to common criminal, because the political prisoners are generally transported on the floor of a transport plane, shackled and to the floor. And but she was on a passenger plane, 5 seats across, and they had told her that she will have no bathroom privilege. So she was designated to a distribution point for prisoners in Oklahoma City. But she was only there for 4 hours. And they said she could be there up to a month, 2 weeks to a month, without being heard from when you're in the system. But she went to Oklahoma City, stayed over for 4 hours, and then went on to Carswell. And no coat. And when she got into prison, one of the inmates gave her a coat, and she was issued a coat in the morning.
And as we know, Lynne will make friends very quickly, no matter where she is, and her reputation will follow her. Let's give everyone Lynne's address before we proceed any further. Lynne Stewart, Federal Medical Center, Carswell. Lynne has retained her identity number 53504-054. She's in Unit 2N, N as in Nancy, 2N, and it's P.O. Box 27137, Fort Worth, Texas, and the zip code is 76127. Ralph?
Well, it's interesting to note that where they have Lynne, which is considered to be, as Carswell goes, a relatively benign location, except that to get a meal, you have to walk as far as her house in Brooklyn to the F train, and that includes 3 flights of stairs up and down. And how about if you want to pee at night? Well, you only have to go about 75 yards at all hours of day and night. There's no bathroom in the cell. So that's a taste of what prison is like, and only in anticipation of what it may be, we have to stay on the case, brothers and sisters. I think I'd just like to mention one quick thing. It was announced today that Eric Holder, the terrorist-in-chief, the so-called Attorney General, who was the counsel for the death squad companies in Colombia, is entertaining favorably a request by Netanyahu for a pardon for for Jonathan Pollard, currently serving a life sentence for having given U.S. Intelligence and military information to the Mossad. Of course, that's pushing on an open door, as we know, since the Mossad handles all of the telecommunications for the Pentagon and for the intelligence services. But we get the flavor here. For people who resist it, for people who represent the oppressed, there's no such thing as a pardon. On the contrary, the Justice Department is on the side of burying Lynne alive. We have to make clear what the context here, what the political forces are, and stand by our sister, Lynne Stewart, who is one of the world's soldiers for justice.
Well, Ralph, Lynne has told me she's studying the prison regulations, etc., because, as I had said before, I'm going to try to get out there. If I can get my application processed by the weekend, I will be there for the weekend. And she was describing the visiting room. And the rules are you get one light kiss in the beginning of the visit, you get one light kiss at the end, and no holding hands. So Lynne said, well, she says, I guess that first kiss we will test the miscegenation attitude of Texas, being that Lynne is white and I am black. So, she still has that sense of humor about everything. And she says the thing that has lifted her up all of, the years that she's been struggling with the government is a concern of people. Now, people have promised me air hours that they had. People out there have called me to find out when I'm coming so that we could have a demonstration out at the prison, to have a meeting to educate people as to what's happening. So I feel very much uplifted, and at the meeting they took up a collection of $138 for the commissary. So Lynne is not forgotten. The movement is alive and well, and when she calls in the morning, that's going to be one of my stops, down to the commissary, to Western Union, to get her the money for the commissary. The food, she says, is good.
Letters flowing.
Keep the letters going.
Alton Correction Center, they had to bring on an extra staff just to handle the letters for Lynne Stewart. Let's show the federal prison system that it's the same at Carswell. This has been Taking Aim with
Ralph Schoenman
and Mya Shone with an update on the case of Lynne Stewart.